Hello. Do. How is it going, everybody? We're going to wait a few minutes to let everybody get in the show, and then we'll start. So grab a cup of coffee, grab a beer, grab a Coke, my personal favorite, vanilla Coca-Cola. But here in about a minute, we'll start the show, and I can't wait to be here. So just settle in. What's up, Top Shot Bot? Man, you're on the band Queen train, I see. Which man, we got to bring you back around today, hopefully. Also, can everybody check? Can everybody hear me okay? Is everything good audio wise? Everything okay? Okay, just let a few more people trickle in. All good. Thank you, sir. My AirPods have gone kaput. So I'm having to do the mic the old-fashioned way through my device. So hopefully it's not that bad. Gonna let a few more people trickle in. We'll start in about 30 seconds. Hope everybody is gonna have a great weekend, because the snow where I'm at is pretty insane, along with some rain. Let's see here. Pull up the good old Pelicans schedule real quick. Do 2026 season. I wish the season could end sooner, actually, so this can stop this pain. But Queen is watching Derek Queen and his growth is making me feel a little happier. And we're in the midst of trade season, so you never know what's going to happen there. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new live stream. It's your boy, BayouSniper. This is Down in the Bayou, where we talk real hoops and real moments. If you haven't been around recently on the show, I'm now with Collected and Connected, and we have a great thing going. I love this partnership, and it makes me excited to deliver these shows to you when I can every single weekend. Absolutely love doing this. And you get to hear me ramble and rant and rave about New Orleans Pelicans basketball, which a lot of you are not New Orleans fans. So this is a good little insight and peek into the team, and just a peek and insight from a fan who is really passionate about the New Orleans Pelicans. So the first segment, if you're not familiar, we go over the New Orleans Pelicans, what's going on with the team, how are we doing, rookie updates, and my thoughts on the team as a whole, whether that be through trades or whatever's going on with the team. And then the second half of the show, Real Moments, we talk about what's going on NBA Top Shot, which I have pulled up on the screen now, just as some background so you can watch. And I have a special showcase to unveil today from my collection just for this show. If you have not looked into joining the CNC premium subscription on YouTube, it's only $2.99 a month, and it's a great way to get involved with our community and get premium giveaways like MGLE, Cade Cunningham's, maybe some legendaries down the road. But we also have great shows and a great community for free. We would love to have you in the CNC Discord as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this show off. Guys, welcome to Down in the Bayou. My name is BayouSniper, and we are going to start with the first segment, everything and anything about the New Orleans Pelicans. Well, we went on a little winning streak as we do. Only 2 games, and then of course the Oklahoma City Thunder have absolutely thwarted us. And also, Jeremiah Fears got in a little scuffle with one of my least favorite players in the league, Lou Dort, which made headlines all across the NBA X feeds and ESPN and discussions. So I don't really have too much to talk about the Thunder game and the San Antonio game. I feel like when we were in San Antonio, my home state of Texas, watching Zion take on Wemby and actually succeed was a great thing to see. And yeah, getting the win in our situation is positive in any way you spin it, because there's not a lot to root for this year besides the rookies, Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears and Micah Peavy. But yeah, getting the win in San Antonio was awesome. But I do want to stress something. I do want the Pelicans to win, and we should be trying to win. However, any win that we get should not give the front office false hope. And what I mean by that is if we start winning, I really don't want the front office to think that everything is fine and we should just keep the same group, because that is just setting yourself up, the players up, and the fans up for doom later on, because it is false hope. Okay. We are at the trade deadline now. Changes have to be made. You are 12-37, and there's really not much more that you can do. You have to, and you have to try to win games because you don't have your draft pick. But you can't have this false sense of hope of, oh, we can compete. Use this excuse. Read this tea leaf. Use this excuse. Guys, this roster is not well constructed. Great talent. There's a lot of talent on the roster. But in terms of roster construction, it's just not there. And I really hope the front office realizes that there should only be 3 people who we are not moving. And one of those 3 that you are not moving, if the offer is sweet enough, you got to move them too. And the only 3 people is Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears, and Trey Murphy. I've already went over in previous shows why you don't move Trey. Is because he is a player that, as long as Derek Queen is playing, he's the type of player that you're going to try to pair with Derek Queen. So if you get rid of him, it's going to be tough to replace him. Jeremiah Fears, too much upside. Derek Queen, too much upside. Whoa, good job, Card Aficionado. Just got a ping on my phone, pulled the number 1 jukebox, Kate Cunningham, which I'll talk about in our second segment of this episode. But going back to the Pelicans, listen, the roster is not constructed very well. We don't have a winning culture. We don't have an A1 leader. Zion's trying, but I've went over that as well. Zion is not he is not the guy. He can play like the guy, but him as a person, he's more of a number 2 in terms of leadership, or a 1B. He needs someone to carry him forward. And Queen looks like that, but we're in the very baby stages of that. We need another 4 years, and Zion doesn't have 4 years. So as we look at the upcoming game today against the Grizzlies, we should win this, in my opinion, but we're probably not going to, because we're going to get outcoached. Our rotations aren't going to be good, and we're inconsistent. So just previewing the game today versus the Grizzlies, there's no Zach Edey, so Derek Queen and Zion should have a good game. We shall see. But the problem I'm having with this roster is that there's no consistency. You know, you traded for a guy in Jordan Poole, who I absolutely hate watching play basketball. But, you know, I was a little excited this summer. Okay, well, he can add scoring, whatever. And he got here, and all of a sudden he's bad, like really bad. So it's time to move on from him. And he's getting DMPs. A champion, we'll say what you want about Jordan Poole, but he's a champion. He's getting DMPs. And James Borrego just doesn't seem to have a clear direction with this team. And as a fan, I think we're just tired of this directionless front office and watching and not knowing what to root for with the team. And I think that that's the worst place to be as a fan. Luckily, we do have rookies that are really fun to watch and have good upside. So I think that's what's kind of keeping Pelicans fans around watching the season, is because we do want to watch Queen's rookie season so we can look back on it and say, I remember when he was a rookie. To be honest, that's pretty much all positive from the season for me. Trey's probably not going to get All-Star, even though he's playing amazing. Trey's probably not going to get All-Star because he's on a bad team. Zion has not played enough games. Once again, same story. And Herb Jones, we're going to get into him in a second. He made first team all defense 2-3 years ago. Okay. Well done. Like, this is the problem, is like, as Pelicans fans, we're not used to winning, or we're not used to being in the playoffs. So like, these are the moral victories that we have to hang our hat on, right? And I don't want to be that team. Like, I want to be a real threat in the West. So like, that's why I think we do need to blow it up and rebuild properly and be patient with Queen. So yeah, game today versus the Grizzlies. Yeah, just excited to watch Derek Queen, to be honest. If we win, I don't really care at this point. In terms of the outcome of the game, like, it's not going to change much. We're 12-37. We're a bad team. It is what it is. It's time to blow it up. I'm just ready for this trade deadline to get rolling with our team and our squad and watch Queen's growth as a rookie. But yeah, so I do want to get into who I think we should move. And I've already said this in last week's episode. Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, Saddiq Bey, Jordan Poole, DeJounte Murray, Jose Alvarado. These are 6 guys where I think they got to go now. Like, they have to go. And no, it's not an indictment on them. Like, Zion has been playing well this year. It's just not going to work. Herb Jones, going to get him to in a second. I have a lot of thoughts about Herb Jones. Jordan Poole has played terrible. He's getting DNPs. He's got to go. Saddiq Bey has been a consistent force for us, but he's got to go. Jose Alvarado, he's the heart and soul of our team. Unfortunately, he's got to go. Like, I can't stress enough that this team needs a change. And I'm talking about guys that we love in New Orleans, like Jose Alvarado. But it's just time. Like, Pelicans fans need a breath of fresh air and something to root for. And while their value is okay or high, it is time to move them. So I want to talk about Herb Jones, because in every single mock trade, he's the guy who has to be in it because of his salary. And he does have a desired skill set for contending teams, like the Lakers, like the Knicks. There's teams that every team could use a Herb Jones. But what I'm about to say is about to diminish his trade value, which no one's watching this who's making real decisions anyway, but around fans, I guess. Oh, Big Easy Collection. Hey, buddy. What's up, Paulie? But Herb Jones, let's dive into it a little bit. Like I said, he got first team all defense once. The guy will turn 28 years old this year. He is shooting 32% from 3. He has been injured in every which way throughout his career. And he is, in my opinion, not as dependable as people say he is. So if I'm the Pelicans, you just gave him this big contract, which I don't know why, but it's time to move off from Herb Jones. He can be packaged with Zion for a Giannis deal. He can be packaged with Zion for an Anthony Davis deal. He can be packaged with Zion for a Devin Booker deal. Like, Herb and Zion, the salaries and the repeating skill set and false hope with them have to be the two that you move together. Zion and Herb have to be packaged together. As you know, my dream trade is we head to Brooklyn, we pick up Michael Porter Jr. and Nick Claxton for Herb and Zion. And that is my dream trade. So you're saying you want to smoke Herb. Man, I'm smoking that Herb pack tonight. And I know a lot of teams want him. Like, and that's good. That's good for us. But as a Pelicans fan who's watched him, since he came in the league, It's time. He doesn't fit the timeline. He is always injured more than people think he is, and he's not a good shooter. And under Willie Green's regime, you know, Willie Green loved hard-working guys, the blue-collar lunch pail guy, which I do too as a fan favorite, but not if I'm a coach. He's not someone I run the offense through because I love the guy's work ethic. And that's what we're doing here. We're letting Herb Jones take like 15 shots a game sometimes. And you have a number one pick, and we're not even passing them the ball. You have Trey Murphy who's taking a great leap, not passing him the ball. He has to take it from Herb. Like, Herb will guard your best player, sure, but he needs to be on a contending team where he knows his role. In New Orleans, he's gotten a little big for his britches, as we like to say in Texas. And I'm ready to move off of Herb Jones. I'm not. This is not a bash Herb Jones segment. I'm just kind of shooting you straight as a Pelicans fan. He needs to be on a contending team, and he will help you win. But as a team who's like really trying to compete and like really trying to, make the roster make sense, he has a repeatable skill set that you can find in second round guys like Micah Peavy this year, who makes less money. He just makes too much money for the skill sets he's providing. And I'm sorry about that, but Herb's got to go. Zion. I got to talk about Zion because I have loved his newfound leadership this year, and I've loved how he's been playing and producing this year. But the problem is with Zion is him and Queen are two completely different players who score the ball in different ways, but unfortunately also score the ball in the same area and play in the same area in the paint. And Zion is not particularly an amazing playmaker, and he is an undersized 4, even arguably an undersized 3 in terms of height, whereas Queen is 6'10", with amazing upside potential in PRA, points, rebounds, assists, all 3 areas. And if I am a GM, I'm getting off the Zion narcotic and I'm fully focusing on Queen. Not because Zion isn't an amazing player. He's great. But again, this is a theme you'll notice with the Pelicans stars. Unreliable, always hurt, does not develop their game. Okay, Zion scores one way, and he scored one way effectively through 7 years of his career, but it has not expanded. He has a little mid-range, that's cool. But the upside in Queen and the emergence of Derek Queen this year is too much to keep Zion hanging around, eating up cap salary, and frankly, just eating up false hope that fans have. So Zion and Herb, in my opinion, need to go together. Jose, I would like to see him stay actually, but again, undersized point guard, vastly undersized point guard. He's a dog. He's awesome, but other teams can use him that are actually contending, and we can recoup back draft capital. Sadiq Bey, he's kind of our project this year. We've rehabilitated him. He's balling out. Move on from him while he's playing well and he's healthy. Jordan Poole. Man, this marriage got ugly quick with Jordan Poole, and it's time for him to go. He has not done anything positive this year, on and off the court. He's just kind of been Jordan Poole. Time to move off Jordan. Now, there's one guy on the Pelicans who we have to keep if we can't find the right deal. And in my mind, that's Yves Missi. Not just because he's 21, not just because he's been playing really well lately. He is a big that you can develop to put next to Derek Queen. Guys, Derek Queen is not a true center. He is a 4. He is a 4 playmaking 4 hub who is having to play the 5. That's why all of these defensive deficiencies and everything are popping up, and people are starting to get down on him, is because he's playing out of position. If you put Yves with Derek Queen, man, everybody's going to love Derek Queen. Whoa, 16, 5, and 5 every game. Why? Because you can hide him on defense like they do Joker. Like Joker is a center, but he's tall enough to be a center and kind of get away with it. Derek Queen is a little shorter. He needs to play the 4, and he'll be fine. And you need a big, strong, athletic, rim-protecting big like Yves Missi to pair with Derek Queen. So you have him in New Orleans. He's a homegrown kid. You've drafted him. Just keep Yves around. And the reason why you have not seen them play together is because we have Zion. We have Zion at the 3, and then, or Zion at the 4 rather, and then Derek Queen has to play the 5 with Zion. And Yves isn't a premier starting player, so you can't start Yves. You can't play Yves, Zion, and Derek Queen at the same lineup. There's no shooting. So, in my opinion, we just need to move off Zion and focus on our draft picks and Yves Missi and Derek Queen together. That's kind of my take on there. Favorite All-Star this season, Jalen Brunson. Well, you know, the Knicks are a good team. I just personally don't really believe in them in the playoffs because, like, I like watching the Pacers the past 2 years. Like, they surprised the hell out of me, man. Like, they should not be how good they are, the Pacers. And in my mind, the Knicks should always be better than how they play. And maybe it was a coaching problem, and that's why they got Mike Brown. All-Star has to be Wemby. Got to take the guy from my second favorite team. Who knows when I got to Bull All-Star again. Hey, Wemby's a sick watch, man. I'm jealous. I am jealous. But we do have Derek Queen. So if you don't remember, in the first half of the season, we played the Spurs early at home, and Derek Queen had a really good game, actually. It was when Wemby was playing. And Derek got Wemby to foul out because of how, like, herky-jerky he was. And, yeah, it was awesome. My favorite all-star, I'm guessing, is a reserve yet to be announced. Who's that, Chewy? Who is your favorite? Okay, so yeah, guys, that is our first segment where we talk about the New Orleans Pelicans. And now we are going to transition into real moments on NBA Top Shot. And as you can see, today I'm really excited about this segment in particular. I have my screen pulled up on my profile. And yeah, those are my 2 pins. I got the #1 autograph Derek Queen jukebox on both his origins and his MGLE. But today we are not talking about Derek Queen, actually. I actually have an announcement to make really quickly. So let me pull it up real quick. 1 second. Gotta show this moment right. Actually, I'll do it this way. Go to overview. This Cade Cunningham MGLE right here, number 8. So if you know how I collect, and you've seen my collection of special cereals and certain guys, this moment may not make sense to you of why I'm highlighting it on my show today, but it will in a second. I posted it on X a day or 2 ago. So this Cade Cunningham MGLE number 8. Why is this being featured on my show? Well, this past Tuesday, so if you don't know, I am a PE teacher and I am a high school basketball coach for the boys varsity team at my school. And I moved to this school 2 years ago, and last year was the first year, that I got to put my stamp on the program. And in our local and our local tournaments, we got 3rd place. But I always felt like, if I stick with the program and I stick with my vision, that we can actually win something in the following years. Well, fast forward to this year, my boys have been training in the morning with me 3-4 days a week. My team has, and we've gotten a lot better since last year. And we went to the local our local regionals, basically our regional tournament. I took my boys, and for the first time in school history, we got 1st place. We won the championship. in that tournament, my varsity boys team. And the reason why I'm saying this story in connection with the Cade Cunningham here is because our offense is called Detroit. So the offense that I have them running is called Detroit, and we've been calling Detroit in practice all year. We've been calling Detroit in games all year, and it's just a cool little parallel. So to celebrate and always remember me getting the championship and my boys getting the championship in our local tournament with the offense called Detroit, I bought this Cade MGLE moment from this year that night and locked it. And the number 8 cereal, I thought it was funny because 8 Mile, Eminem, 8 Mile in Detroit. So yeah, I just figured I would buy this moment and lock it up. It's a good memoir and a good memory to have. And that goes to show Top Shot can be kind of what you make it, right? Top Shot is not just moments that you just gather, or it's not a money making machine. No, it can be, but it's also it also can be used as a memoir. If for instance, I'll show you another moment. So 1 second, let me go to moments, players, Trey. So last year, I won a meet and greet with Trey Murphy virtually on my birthday, on my 30th birthday, right here. That's the moment, on my 30th birthday. And he wished me happy birthday on X. So I figured, hey, I am going to buy a moment to remember this. So I bought the number 30 cereal of his moment that last year, locked away forever. And I started a little project on my Top Shot, and I'll show you here 1 second. So I started a little thing called Heartstrings, which I hope will develop over time, and I get to highlight it on the show when it's all ready. Right now, I think there's only five moments in there, and I want to fill it all the way up before I do an episode about this showcase. But today, I'm very excited because I have made a showcase just for this show. So as you know, I'm a big Pelicans collector on Top Shot. I mostly collect Pelicans and the rookies and everything and special cereals, and my moments are very curated to my liking. I don't just buy random moments. But today I figured we would kind of flip that on its head, and I am going to show you a showcase today of my favorite 10 moments that are not New Orleans Pelican in my collection. I figured this is a fun way to kind of, show you that my collection is not just Pelicans. I don't just think about Pelicans. I do have 10 moments that are in the showcase I'm about to show you that mean a lot to me, and they're all from different teams basically. So I'm really, really excited to show you this showcase on this show. So these are 10 moments that are not Pelicans. That was the criteria. 10 not Pelicans moments that are my favorites in my collection. There's 5 legendary and 5 rare. So if you are ready to dive in, let's dive in. I have been waiting a long time to do this, and I think this is a good time to unveil it. So there it is, down in the Bayou, 130 right there. Let's take a look here. Let's see if I can do this right. I don't really do showcases that often. Okay, so is there a way that we can, okay, so let's start off here. This is Jaylen Brown's holo from last year. I remember this game like it was yesterday. I watched on TV, of course, but watching Jaylen Brown score in all of these different ways, it forced me to do my first legendary challenge. As you can see, it's a challenge reward up there on the right star, and I just had to have it, man. I bought a stupid, crazy amount of moments that were expensive for this moment, but it's just so beautiful. I personally think it's Jaylen Brown's best moment as a whole on Top Shot. Just, going against the Pacers, like a rivalry that they have because they're both juggernauts in the East recently. and he scores in this moment in every way: dunks, step backs, threes, steal, and slams. It's just a beautiful moment, and the thumbnail is also beautiful. So yeah, this is my first ever legendary challenge I completed on Top Shot, and one of my favorite moments here. It had to make the cut for legendary. Just a beautiful moment right there. So that is our first moment in my showcase of my 10 favorite moments that are not Pelicans. Look at that. Look at the thumbnail. Absolutely beautiful. Now we move leagues and we go to the WNBA. This is an autographed rookie revelation of my favorite WNBA player, Sonia Citron from Notre Dame. She had an amazing, efficient season, rookie season last year with the Washington Mystics. And she's the only WNBA player I collect because I think she's going to be that good. I think she is the future of the WNBA. She can do it all. And she's such a hard worker. And this kind of like this game in particular, she busted Paige, like absolutely dominated this game. And I love Sonia Citron as a player and as a person. She looks awesome. So I had to pick up this moment. So that is the second one. Now we go to a more highlight play. I love the beard. Okay. I think he's one of the best scorers this game has ever had, in my opinion. And last season, I bought this #1 cereal, James Harden Hollow, for cheap. And I think it's one of the coolest, like, James Harden moments just because of his celebration. And keep in mind what you're about to see. He did this on a Defensive Player of the Year. Check it out. Also, perfect cereal. This is my perfect cereal, James Harden Hollow from last season. Oh, I love Clippers Harden, man. So he puts Evan Mobley on skates. It's so sick. I love this move. It's kind of an old man move, but I love it. It's like, pa, there we go. Boom. Got him. Yeah. And there's the reaction. I just think this moment is so funny. I love it. And those Harden 9s, by the way, amazing hoop shoes to ball in. Good cushion, traction, breathability. Harden 9s are awesome. Yeah, that reaction there. He had Mobley absolutely fried. Had no clue where he was going. Oh, I love that moment. Okay, so that's number 3. Now we move to a former teammate of James Harden. Personally, if you don't know, Russell Westbrook is my GOAT. He is my greatest of all time. I love Russell Westbrook. And anybody who talks crap about Russell Westbrook, you can come see me. Underrated player, one of the most underrated players of all time, in my opinion, for what he did with the Thunder. And he revitalized his career in multiple places. And unfortunately, he went to the Lakers at some point, which as a player you should never do, especially if LeBron's there, because LeBron is just going to absolutely fry your career and make you a scapegoat. But needless to say, Russell Westbrook, in my eyes, is underappreciated. And I picked up this next moment, which is a season 1. It's his Top Shot debut. But the reason why I have it on here is because it's a special cereal, which I think is really hard to get. And I got it for a good price. So this is Russell Westbrook's Top Shot debut with the Houston Rockets right before COVID. And on December, he had a damn near triple-double, 30-point triple-double this game. Just, it's a simple play, but it reminds me of pre-COVID times, right before it hit. And I was super high on the Rockets that year. When they started playing small ball, I kind of saw the vision. And I have a hot take. I think if Russell Westbrook didn't hurt his hamstring right before they went to the bubble, I think they would have made the finals that year, and probably won the championship. I think that team was underrated, honestly. And unfortunately, Russell got injured during COVID, and they went to Disneyland. Is it Disney World or Disneyland? I can't remember. But they went to the bubble, and he played injured. So there was not much that he could really do. So yeah, now we go to, I think, my favorite moment of this showcase. and I picked it up. Also, hot take. I think that the Pacers should have won the championship last year. Again, if Tyrese Halliburton does not get hurt, we're talking a different story. And I also picked up the perfect serial of Tyrese Halliburton's breakout playoffs, probably the best playoff performances I've ever seen as a whole. Let's just watch this beautiful moment real quick. Oh. Because if he doesn't get hurt, listen, that game 7 against the Thunder, Tyrese was rolling. The Pacers were rolling. It was like 15-12, and Tyrese Halliburton was just frying them by himself that game 7. But unfortunately, he went down, and then things changed. But congratulations to the Thunder. I just personally think that if he didn't get hurt, I think Indiana would have won the finals. But this is game 1 of the finals. And last year, Tyrese Halliburton had a stretch of game winners in the playoffs, just string them back to back to back. And this is one of them in game 1. Just absolutely took over the game on the biggest stage. One of my all-time favorite moments I'll have in my collection. And a perfect serial nonetheless. Only 29 left because they burned the rest. So only 29 of these exist. This Pacers team last year was so fun to watch. So fun. Okay, so that wraps up my 5 favorite legendary moments in my collection that are not Pelicans moments. Now, let's go to the rares. I also have 5 here. Let's get it. So first, again, bubble moment. Anthony Davis. I think this is the best bubble moment ever. I remember this game like it was yesterday. Anthony Davis, one of my all-time favorite players. And then this is like peak Anthony Davis. In my opinion, Anthony Davis should have gotten finals MVP that year. But unfortunately, he's on the same team as LeBron, and LeBron has to have everything, whether he deserves it or not. So, in my opinion, like Anthony Davis was the real MVP of their championship run in the bubble. And this moment defined his career and defined this championship. Also, Serial 94, the year I was born. So fun little thing there. Now let's go to you're like, is that Ty Jerome? Yeah, it's Ty Jerome. And this moment is not in here because of the moment. Okay. This is in here because of 2 things. The player and the connected experience I have with him, and the serial number, 360. So this is a simple $8 moment, maybe even $7 now, a rare breakout of Ty Jerome. And it did crack my top 10 favorites. And the reason why is because of its significance to me. So this past summer, I got to go to my first summer league through NBA Top Shot, meet all my friends, watch Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears and all the rookies at Summer League in Vegas. Had an amazing time, and Top Shot set up an amazing shoot-around at a gym in Las Vegas with just Top Shot collectors, and it was free and it was awesome. But they also brought in Ty Jerome to come meet us, and it was at this place called Shoot 360. So that day, I bought a Ty Jerome rare moment, and I saw a 360. I was like, gotta have it, and that'll help me remember my time with fellow collectors at Summer League through Top Shot with the guy that I met. Ty Jerome, great human being. I think he has a bright future in the NBA. Yeah, just an awesome sentimental moment for me here. Serial number and all. Now let's go to my MVP this year, Mr. Cade Cunningham. So the reason why this moment is important to me is because I think Cade is the future of the NBA. I think he's the best player in the NBA once Jokic leaves. And he is who should be getting the hype. And he is who I think people want Luka to be. Like, I think Cade is actually that. Like, I think Cade is the generational talent because he does like 75, 80% of what Luka can do on offense. Passing, finishing, his shooting's getting there. Luka's a better shooter, but Cade's getting there. but Cade's defense is also elite. Like, if I'm a GM, I'm taking Cade over every single person in the league to start my franchise with. I absolutely love Cade. And the reason why I have this moment particularly in this showcase is because this is the first set and the only set I've completed on Top Shot, the honor set from last year. Amazing mint counts, thumbnails are sick. Had to have this one in here, and cool little year serial from last year. Nice little nugget there. So now let's go to Ryan Rollins. I can't say enough about this kid. He has been one of my favorite stories this year. So he had to crack the showcase. Ryan Rollins, I think, is an emerging star in Milwaukee. I think he can kind of like, he can't do what Giannis has done, obviously, with the Bucks, but I think he's a good like segue to a new chapter after Giannis leaves. If you don't know his story, you should look it up. I'm not going to air it out on my podcast, but you can look up his story and you can see why seeing him succeed is a really cool thing, and watching him really blossom this year. And I was an early believer in him. I have like 80 of his debuts, and watching him get his MGLE, his first MGLE this season is a really cool thing to watch. So I had to put it in my showcase here. Ryan Rollins is an absolute baller, man. Great on defense, wants to win, handle the rock, shoot. He's only 23 years old. Lots of upside here. Big Ryan Rollins guy. Now let's go to the last moment in the showcase, which is a funny one. Dylan Brooks. Again, my birth year cereal up here. Anybody who goes at LeBron and doesn't pander to LeBron, I am a fan of. And Dylan Brooks is the king of not pandering to LeBron James. And I think he should be an all-star this year. I really do. I think Dylan Brooks should be an all-star this year. And watching him kill it with the Suns is an awesome thing to see. So I had to get his MGLE with the Suns. But Top Shot, I have a little beef with you about this moment. Because you see at the end of this dunk, Dylan Brooks actually looks at LeBron and does the shoulder shrug at him, and they cut it off. I really wish they would have kept that. I really wish they would have kept that. All right, guys. That has been an amazing show. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm glad that you got to go through the showcase with me and hear me ramble about the Pelicans. I can't wait for my show next weekend. I'll try to have another showcase. I think doing these showcases for the show is a really fun thing to do. It's a nice way for y'all to see my collection and maybe understand some moments that I do buy. And maybe I can start a trend. Maybe people can start showing off their showcases of sentimental moments that mean stuff to you. But guys, thank y'all so much. It's been a great show. I can't wait to do this again with y'all next weekend. Check out Collecting Connecting. Love y'all guys. See you later.